Alright guys, obviously you can see that I have Assassin's Creed Odyssey up. We are not going to start this game yet. I wanted to discover Greece. So we're going to go on a discovery tour of Greece. Interacting like museum style. So kind of interested in this. Let's go check it out. Then after we get done with this, maybe we can actually start depending on how good views get. Do you actually want to start playing this game? I tried to play this game a few months ago, but the quality of the gameplay was crap. So, very glitchy. So, I was kind of disappointed in it, so I kind of deleted all of it. But we're going to start this with this, I guess, this series with Discovery Tour of Greece to get more intel of the world that we're going to be playing in. So, Discovery Tour, let's go. Okay, so this is where we start. We have deck 0 out of 11 tours to do. I don't know if we're going to do all of them. But we are going to start. See my glasses. Okay, let's just start this. Okay, let's go up to this girl. Station 9, stations 9. Estimated time 25 minutes. Okay.
Greetings, wanderer, and welcome to the Acropolis, the shining jewel of Athens.
I'd like to begin the tour, please.
The Acropolis of Athens is a bastion of art and culture worthy of the gods themselves. Within this citadel, you will find many important sacred buildings, as well as some of the most magnificent art in all of Greece.
Interesting.
You are in for a very enlightening visit. When you're done, come find me, and we can discuss the things you have seen. Farewell for now.
That was a shitty tour. You're never gonna walk me through the place?
The Acropolis has gone through many changes in its long history. It began as a simple rock, was settled as early as the Neolithic period, and then became a fortress in the Mycenaean period.
Yeah.
Stone buildings started appearing in the 7th century BCE. But the famous structures whose ruins remain visible today date mainly from a period of construction in the 5th century BCE. The location of the Acropolis is closely tied with Athens' foundation myth. Supposedly, it was the site where Athena and Poseidon competed for the city's patronage. This connection gave the Acropolis a sacred aura, and it was considered the religious heart of the city.
You don't say. Interesting stuff right there. Okay. That's a picture of it. Wow. Interesting. Fun facts. Fun facts.
The Temple of Athena Nike was built on the remains of old fortifications from the Mycenaean era. Worship at the temple can be traced back to the 6th century BCE, but the building itself was destroyed during the Greco-Persian Wars a century later. It was rebuilt during the Peloponnesian War. Given that the name Athena Nike roughly means Athena of victory, it was likely constructed in the hopes that Athens would win the war. Unusually, the temple depicts historical scenes of battles against the Persians instead of the more mythologically inclined art of other Greek buildings. The temple's priestess was chosen randomly among the Athenians and received a salary of 50 drachmae annually, along with skins and trophies from sacrificed animals.
Wingless. What's this say? Temple of Athena Nike. The area of the Temple of Athena Nike was built offers a beautiful view of the southern shores of Tychia along with the port of Piraeus. And look, I have trouble pronouncing some of this stuff, alright? So don't judge me, okay? Just saying. I mean, like, in school, look, I don't know how old you are, but when I was in school, there was a thing called popcorn reading, where everybody would take turns, and you had to be on top of your shit, and most of the time I wasn't, and I became very conscious of the way I read sometimes, and I mispronounce some things, which is alright. So yeah, this noteworthy feature, as well as Mecanian ruins nearby, were the basis of the assumption that Aegeus, the ninth king of the old Athena dynasty, watched the sea from here in the hopes of seeing his son Theseus return safe from Crete. Theseus, the most important Athenian mythological hero, had left the Crete under the guests of one of the youths sent to feed the Minotaur. Theseus promised Aegeus that he would kill the monster and bring back Athenian youth on a ship flying white sails, symbolizing victory and joy. The hero slew the Minotaur, sailed home, but forgot to replace his ship's dark morning sails with light ones. When Aegeus saw the dark sails, he assumed Theseus had died. Stricken with grief, the king threw himself off the steep bastion of the Acropolis, meeting his death on the ground below. However, other versions of the myth tell that Aegeus flung him into the sea, which consequently took his name, the Aegean, a major inscription, wingless victory sculpture fragment from the Athenian Nike prophet. I could have played the audio. I'm sitting here reading. I could have played the audio. Okay. So. Okay. Fun facts. Discovery sites. Oh, that's the actual picture? Interesting.
The Acropolis was built up over a long period, due in no small part to its partial destruction during the Greco-Persian Wars. It was in the 5th century BCE, though, that the Acropolis received its most significant improvements. This period was an extremely prosperous time for Athens, both financially and culturally. With a booming economy bolstered by trade and the Lavrion silver mines, Pericles, the leader of Athens, financed a huge project to rebuild the citadel. He enlisted the help of renowned artists, like the sculptor Phidias, as well as the architects Iktinos and Callicrates. Together, they erected buildings like the Parthenon and the Propylaea Gateway. Pericles' goal was to make the Acropolis into a glorious monument to the gods and to mortal Athenians.
You were wearing like, well, is she on my boat or something? What is she? Feast and sacrifice scene. In ancient Greece, priests and priestesses were either designed to elect from among citizens and electrical families. They performed sacred rituals on special occasions like festivals or when otherwise required. Priests' houses are often linked with the priesthood, but priests did not actually live in them, preferring to stay at their own homes in the city's residential quarter. Instead, the main purpose of the priest's house was to provide priests with space to carry out their rituals during specific days on the religious calendar. Priest houses were considered too sacred for the mundane activities of daily life, and priests had to perform purification rituals such as period of chastity before they were allowed to enter. Image description: priest in a sacrifice scene on a red figure bell crater attributed to the Pythois painter. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Interesting. There's another one over here. Athena, a grain. In many ancient texts, the goddess Athena bears the attribute Ergain, which refers to her patronage of craftsmen and artisans and other crafts. Athena Argane was mainly associated with spinning and weaving. She protected women who produced textiles, and in return they offered her spindles, loom weights, raw wool, and textiles and dedications. One ancient painted vestige, Athena Argane was often represented as either an artisan in a tool-filled workshop or as an owl next to objects symbolizing certain crafts. For example, an owl next to a wool basket was sometimes stamped on loom, ways used by weavers. It's not clear if Athena Argane had an actual cult like Athena Polius, but it was evident that the goddess bearing the epithet received dedications, offerings from all sorts of artisans. Moreover, the sacred peplos given to the goddess during the Panathenea was woven under the auspices of Athena Argane. I have no idea what I just said. The Parthenian frieze showing worshippers holding the peplos devoted to Athena, who is seated along Hippostois. That's the picture. Okay.
Behind the Propylaea was the giant bronze statue of Athena Promachos, or Athena who fights on the front lines. That name was reflected in the spear and shield the statue held in its hands. It was erected in the mid-5th century BCE by the artist Phidias. According to an inscription, it took 9 years to make and cost almost 500,000 drachmae. At approximately 10 meters tall, the statue was apparently so large that Pausanias claimed its helmet and spear tip could be seen from the sea near Cape Sunion, 60 kilometers away. The ornamentation on the statue's shield was engraved by the metalsmith Mies. The Eraphoroi were young girls between the ages of 7 and 11 who were in charge of special rites. A list of 4 girls was drafted by the Assembly of Citizens, from which the High Magistrate, the Archon Basileus, chose 2 to serve as Eraphoroi for the year. The girls lived in a house on the Acropolis. They were in charge of carrying sacred objects and weaving the peplos of Athena. The peplos was a sacred robe offered to Athena during Panathenea, a festival held in her honor.
Interesting. The olive tree of Athena. Today, an olive tree grows on the western side of the Erechtheion. Although it was planted in 1952 by members of the American School of Archaeology, it's commonly believed to be descended from the sacred olive tree planted during the foundation of Athens. Myth says the Athenia and Poseidon, completed to become the patron deity of the new city, were required to bring gifts to its citizens. Athena struck the Acropolis with her spear, and this sacred olive tree sprouted from the ground. For these reasons, ancient Greeks thought the Athenian olive trees were the holiest of all Hellas. Herodotus and Pausanias both reported that Persians burned the tree in 1480 BC only for it to grow again from its ashes on the very same day. The miraculous revival of the archetype for all the other subsequent resurrections of the tree. Image description: bronze coin of Athenian depicting Athena standing beside an olive tree on the reverse. Okay. Not too interested. That's fine right there. The altar of... So this is just her altar? Okay. That's interesting. Who's that? Am I unlocking skins for the game? Dun, 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 dun. Given the request of his ally, Theseus accused thrice of the marrying Procopine's daughter on a Belgrade to the Achilles painter. Sanctuary of Zeus Peleus. Besides Athena, Peleus, and Poseidon Erechtheus, Athenians believed that their city was also protected by Zeus Peleus. Of the city, this was based on Zeus being the judge of Athena and Poseidon's mythical competition to become Athena's chief deity. Consequently, a small walled open war sanctuary was erected to Zeus Peleus ca. 500 BCE. There are no traces left of it other than cutting in the bedrock, interpreted by the archaeologists to be the remnants of a barn for sacrificial animal or chutes designed to lead two animals to the slaughter. The main ritual dedicated to Zeus Peleus was the Biophina, the ox murder, which took place each summer during the greatest festival of Diploia. Two working oxen, whose sacrifice were normally prohibited, were led to the sanctuary altar where grain and spread. The first ox to eat the grain was considered to consent to being sacrificed and was slain by a member of the Thaliandio family, who subsequently had to throw aside the axe and flee from Acropolis. That man and his companions were later tried for murder, but also acquitted in the end of the sacrificial axe or knife was found guilty and thrown into the sea. The ritual, believed to be very archaic and based on the myth of a priest who accidentally killed a plugging ox and had to expedite the sin through annual sacrifice to Zeus, is reminded that the ancient Athenians that laboring beasts should not be sacrificed and that they should respect the sacred laws of raising special sacrificial animals. Modern scholars also think the ritual was a means to explain how humanity passed from grain and honey offerings to animal sacrifices. Okay. Interesting. A goddess stands by an altar to pour an offering from Phila on a Taroko calyx.
The Erechtheion was an atypical temple. It was dedicated not only to Athena Pelias, but also to Cecrops, the mythical founder of Athens, his son Erechtheus, and even Poseidon, the sea god who challenged Athena for possession of the city. The temple was divided into sections. The eastern part housed a statue dedicated to Athena, while the western section jointly belonged to Poseidon and Erechtheus. Meanwhile, King Cecrops' grave was believed to be under the caryatid porch. Under the temple was a crypt that was said to contain the sacred snakes of Athena. The snakes may have had a sweet tooth because the priestesses of Athena allegedly fed them honey cakes. The Parthenon is one of the most well-known buildings in the world and an enduring symbol of ancient Greek civilization. While it is located on the Acropolis, the building is not a traditional temple. It was built by the sculptor Phidias and the architects Callicrates and Ictinus as a great monument to the glory of the city of Athens.
You don't say.
That glory is evident in its many carvings. One of the most carved monuments in Greek architecture, the Parthenon's decorations depict several mythological scenes. These include the birth of Athena, her fight against Poseidon for the patronage of Athens, the gods' battle with the giants, and the procession of the great Panathenaea. The Parthenon's inner chamber, or cella, contained a massive statue of Athena that was considered to be one of the sculptor Phidias's greatest masterpieces. The statue was chryselephantine, a combination of gold and ivory. To justify the steep cost of its construction, Pericles told Athenians that the statue was a gold reserve, which could be disassembled in times of economic distress. The cella also allegedly contained a pool, whose main purpose was to control the room's humidity, which helped preserve the statue's ivory.
Oh, snap. Photo mode. Inspired by the architectural scenery of ancient Greece. Take picture. Okay, also take a picture. Yeah, took a picture. Cool. That's cool. Watch out, people. I'm coming. I'm gonna get past all you motherfuckers. I'll get on down to my end of the tour. Yeah, there's one last one all the way down there. Hey. Music was everywhere in ancient Greece, and we wanted to reflect this in the game. Musicians played the sanctuaries, the Olympics, the villages, and the cities. Music had many uses, including singing and playing during ceremonies, creating rhythm during combat training, and for entertainment. Working closely with your musicians in the UK, Canada, and Greece, we created original songs that reflected important moments in the story, instrumental music to provide entertainment throughout the world, and ancient Greek sailor songs from the boat. I did, Andrew. Image description inspired by the art of Assassin's Creed Odyssey by Kate Lewis, with courtesy from the Titan Books. Huh. Okay, let's go finish this tour. Almost there. Ta 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 ta. Da, 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 da.
Athens' treasury was located in the Parthenon, where it was believed to be protected by Athena herself. The treasury contained objects of great value, acquired from different conquests, as well as a mass of minted silver coins and various offerings to Athena. Pericles also decided to move the entirety of the Delian League's treasure to the Parthenon in 454 BCE. This was a great testament to Athens' power over the rest of Greece.
Was it though?
The riches were divided into two parts: the Demosia, which belonged to the city, and the Hiera Cremata, which was dedicated to the goddess and only used for religious purposes.
Interesting. Interesting.
And what did you think of the Acropolis? It truly is quite something, isn't it? A sacred sanctuary and an architectural marvel, all
I have
in
to say,
one.
for sure.
If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask.
For a quiz. Oh God. I'm ready for a quiz. Let's go. Let's do this.
You're confident enough for a test?
Yep. Oh, we got
Very
this.
well. Let us see how much you know. Which two gods competed for Athens' patronage?
Poseidon and Athena.
Correct. It was Poseidon and Athena who fought for Athens' patronage. As for who won, the answer is in the city's name. On to the next question. Who sculpted the statue of Athena in the Parthenon?
I'm gonna say
Correct. The
Yes.
renowned sculptor Phidias made the statue, which was considered one of his
We
masterpieces.
got this. Oh,
And
I'm too
now,
smart.
the final question. Which king's tomb was believed to be under the caryatid porch?
Shit. Hecrops, Perseus. No. Leonidas. Menelaus. I'm going this one.
That is correct. Cecrops
yes,
was the mythological
yes.
first king of Athens, and his tomb was said to be under the Erechtheion. It seems you know much about this place. Well done, wanderer. Very well. On to the next tour.
Traveling through time and space. We did good on that test, though. Just saying. Kind of a pro, you know. Didn't go to college, but I did graduate high school. So that happened. Yes. Oh, I can play as these characters. Oh, okay. That's what it is. I can be a Greek tough guy. What horses do I have? Oh, he's so tiny. So quick though. Whoop, 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 whoop. What other character can we play as? Yeah, we got hit up all these tours. We're not gonna do them all this time, but we're definitely gonna have to make a few more videos depending how good this one does. Oh, and you can play as young boy. Look at her run. Whoa, 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 whoa. She runs so quick. Whoa, 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 whoa. Cassandra, let me come with you. See how she climbs. Oh, she leaps. Holy crap. Ta 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 ta. Jump. You can run, man. Perseus, the head of Medusa, copy of the marble statue from the... Yeah, you know what? Medusa got the bad end of all this. Poor Medusa. I feel bad for her. And that's a penis. There are several legends regarding the founding of Messenia, and the most popular story involves Perseus, the great hero, slayer of Medusa. After Perseus unintentionally killed his grandfather, he exchanged realms with his relative Magpithithis. When he arrived in his new lands, he dropped the cap of sword Scaret, called Mycus in Greek, interrupting the event as a good omen. Perseus decided to build a city. In another version of the story, Perseus picked up a mushroom, also called mice, and drank the water that flowed from it, which this thirst quenched. The hero decided that the land from which the mushroom grew was a suitable place to establish the new capital. Image description: Perseus with the head of Medusa, copy of the marble statue from the Vatican Museum, made by Antonio Convoya between 1804 and 1806. Oh. I unlocked a brown horse. That is very intriguing. Alright, so next time on here we are going to continue the tour. We're going to continue with famous city Messenia tour. So, it's 20 minutes, it'll be a short one. We'll do 2 next time. But yeah, so don't forget to subscribe. This is just a little break from playing games. I'm still a game. Playing games. Many quizzes to come. Past the first one, flying colors. But thank you guys for watching. If you don't like this, feel free to let me know. Hit that thumbs down if you want, but hit that thumbs up so I can get more views on my videos. Cause just saying, like, I don't have many views. Maybe there's a reason. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments below. I will see you guys next time. This is Grave Hero out. Stay safe out there, guys. I will see you next time.